Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm David Bell, and as always, joined in the studio by Mr. Nick Looby. Now, today we have an exciting broadcast that we're pushing together, especially for our guests who are watching this, possibly live, maybe on catch-up TV. But it's all about entrepreneurship. It's all about social enterprise. And we've got a number of guests joining us very shortly in the studio to learn about how we need to support our community, how social enterprise can be such a great thing. And people don't know much about social enterprise in some cases. Nick, what's your take on social enterprise? Any ideas what that should mean to you, the community, to other businesses?
Like most businesses, mate, I think plenty to learn about social enterprise. It sounds like it's most definitely the way forward. I need to be educated more. I need to be shown the way. And fortunately, our lovely guests today are going to help educate me and all of our audience. What can we do to become more socially responsible and more entrepreneurial too?
Mm-hmm. Now, earlier this month, the Cambridge Social Entrepreneur Festival took place, and we're going to be hearing from some of the guest speakers. But that was in person, but they are morphing to an online virtual event for the rest of this month. We're going to find out more about that. But what we're going to do is we're going to play a short video. We're going to see how it all took place and what happened earlier this month. We're back straight after this. So welcome back. Welcome to the studio. Our guests this morning, Karen, Charlotte, Heidi, and Servane. Great to have you here this morning. We're going to be talking more about the Social Entrepreneur Festival. And I suppose really this is where we go to Karen, who was the founder and the creator behind the festival. Good morning to you, Karen.
Morning, David.
Great to have you with us. Great to have you with us. Now, tell us a little bit more about the idea we saw in the video there. It looked great fun. It was based in Cambridge. It was vibrant. How did you come up with the idea and what was it all about?
So it came from the fact that I've been working for 20 years, helping people create businesses to create change, otherwise known as social enterprises sometimes. And I just know loads of interesting people, and I realized they hadn't connected. And after 2 years of no one connecting with anyone in person, I thought, why don't I get them all together? And that was the premise.
Yeah, no, absolutely brilliant. So exciting times. 3 of the guest speakers are here with us today. I know there was a number of others which I'd love to have been here to tell us more. But let's speak to some of those speakers and find out a little bit about what they spoke about at the festival and what it meant to them. So I'm going to go to Charlotte in the top right hand of my screen there. Morning, Charlotte.
Morning, David. Hi.
Hi. Tell us a little bit about it. I mean, you were there for the day, participating, speaking from stage to the audience. Tell us a little bit about what you were speaking about and how it fits into social enterprise.
Well, I was very lucky to be invited as a guest on the day, and on the live event, I was a guest. When we move to the online section of the festival, I will be offering workshops for people covering HR and employment law, which is what I do. I was available on the day for private consultations, obviously confidential one-to-ones, and what I really am able to offer is help and guidance to social entrepreneurs when they are getting to grips with HR and employment law for the first time.
That's what I like. I think you're absolutely right, Karen. Connect great people for having great conversations, assist each other. Definitely the way forward. And I love the fact it was a festival. Hopefully, it had that festival feel. Heidi, how did it feel to be in Cambridge with a load of other cool people to connect with?
It was amazing. I have to say I've become a bit of a recluse over COVID, and tend to be in my home office quite a lot. So it was lovely to get out and actually physically see some people.
Yeah, I think lots of us are loving the fact that we can go out now, we can network, we can actually meet others and have some great conversations. Servane, you've been on one of our breakfast shows in the past, so great to have you back here with us this morning. What was you talking about? What was you talking about the festival? What were the delights that you were sharing with the audience?
Well, I must say, first pay tribute to Karen, who invited us all to do a governance dance. She explains very well how people should behave, what to think about, but she transformed that into a dance. So I invite everybody on your show, David and Nick, to reach out to Karen to understand what governance means through the dance steps that Karen invited. And all my point here is that taking part into a festival like the Social Entrepreneurs Festival was being able to take stock and take the temperature, really listen to people, really pay attention to the words they were using, helping them think in real life, in real time, about what their hurdles were, what their ideas and instinct and intuitions were. And so that was a great opportunity to do in a wonderful setting. What a wonderful setting.
I'm intrigued. I think it's sad not to be part of the governance dance. Intrigued, Karen. How was that? It must have been a lot of work. How was the festival for you? And what next? Where does it lead? Because I think it leads to something bigger and possibly better.
So for me, it was really great fun because I had an amazing team. I've never run an event where I wasn't stressed because they just had everything under control. So Annabelle and Rosemary can't be with me, but I'm going to make sure they listen because they were amazing. And I had a cast of thousands of people doing little things because it was all around everyone being part of it. So it is the start of doing things slightly differently. So Nick, you were talking about what is social enterprise and the definitions. And having worked in the sector for 20 years, and I'm sure Servane and Heidi and Charlotte will have the same view, that everyone gets hung up on legal definitions. And that's why I invented the governance dance, to explain the different elements of governance that are needed when you create an entity. But it's actually not important what your legal structure is. And because everyone in what's called the third sector think about legal structure all the time, I kind of think it gets a bit complicated. And so that's why for me, the festival was the start of rebranding and saying, I want to support social entrepreneurs. So people who want to use business to create change in the world. So in addition to making a profit, it's what else can you do? What is your passion for change? And sometimes our passion for change is just that we donate money to charity as an individual. But so often you can weave that element of change into your business. And so that's really what I want to do, is work with more people who, if they want to use a legal structure to embed a legacy, great, but they don't have to. And I don't want people to get put off by the legal complications.
Yeah, talking about legal complications, I mean, you haven't run a social enterprise from the day that you started running businesses. You've got an amazing background. You studied law. You worked for the likes of IBM, Oracle, Grant Thornton, Investec Bank in South Africa. So you've got a big career path there, working in big corporates. But why social enterprise? What made you go down this path? Because lots of people, wrongfully or rightfully, set up business because they've got a passion. Maybe it's a side hustle, a hobby, an interest that then turns into a business. And quite often we look at businesses measured success as being profitable. But obviously a third sector business or a social enterprise is a little bit different. What took you down that path? Why social enterprise?
Well, I think there's two things. When I joined IBM as a graduate hire, I was what they call a second generation IBMer. So my dad had been an IBMer. And so I knew the culture and I was fascinated by that because alongside law, I did social psychology as well. But I made a commitment to myself I was not going to be there more than 3 years. I did stay 3.5 years, but I moved on, and that was because I wanted to move out of a big corporate. So the other companies were slightly smaller, slightly less encompassing than IBM, because I was very conscious that I didn't want to make money for shareholders. I don't know where that came from, because it was in 91, before the internet and before I'd even heard of anything around business being different. But I had this sense that I didn't want to be in a corporate shareholder driven machine. And then I just moved on learning. And then when I came to the UK, I was involved in tech startups, and that was all around people with a passion. And they say it's all about tech, but they know nothing about business. So I just use all my knowledge to help them. And I was actually at a church council meeting when someone said to me, you do this thing with tech startups. I work for a social enterprise. Will you help us? And I was like, I don't even know what a social enterprise is. And when I discovered that you could do the two things together, which is make change in the world and build a business, that was it. I was hooked.
Sounds phenomenal, right? And what a great place to start in the midst of big corporate. And then to come to that realization, you know what, for me, it's not about making shareholders wealthier. It's about changing the world in whichever way I and my business can. That will no doubt resonate, Karen, with a lot of people watching in right now. So what's next? How do we scale this up? Awesome festival. Where do we go from here?
So the next one is the online one, which is starting next week, and it's running for 2 weeks with about 80 hours of content and resources. And experts like Heidi and Charlotte have offered their time one-to-one, but we've also got panels. We've also got all the videos from the third. So the governance dance is now videoed, which is great. I haven't had it on film before. I've been trying to do it without dancing with my hands on COVID. That didn't work. And so we just love lots of people to come online and enjoy the festival and engage and further the conversation. And because life is busy and complicated, we're running events live during the next 2 weeks. And then we're allowing people to access the recorded content for another 2 weeks. And there's just a whole lot of different topics being covered during those 2 weeks.
Fantastic. So is this available to anybody? Could anybody sign up and be part of this online community and join these sessions? Yes. And if so, how do they sign up and join?
So if they go to socialentrepreneur.festival.com, then you can see the program, which I'm always adding to. And we're in the process of rejigging Servane's session because it was on Monday, but out of respect, we're not doing anything on Monday. So you won't see Servane in the program yet, but we'll have a date very soon. And you can view the program and you can buy a ticket.
Fantastic. Servane, you will be part of it. We hear, so that's excellent and brilliant news. So people can sign up, a ticket cost for them to be part of this, and they don't have to attend all. They can drop into the bits of the program that they would want to join. Obviously, we hope they come along and listen to it and watch it all, of course, but they can dive into the bits that interest them and kind of, they're drawn towards, maybe because they're busy doing other things, and they can then watch the bits that they've missed out on catch up later.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like it's a bit like Netflix, mate. It's a bit like Netflix, but with good purpose and good reason at the end of it. And full well, it doesn't matter which button you click on, it's going to be great value. You're going to get some great content. Awesome. And it sounds busy, but sounds really exciting. What are you looking for to achieve from this 2 week online extravaganza?
So part of it is, again, the same thing that the live festival was, is just connecting people who might not have met each other. Because I've realized I use LinkedIn and kind of go, can I introduce you to? Much like Christine Michaelis introduced me to you, David. And that works really well. But it's much nicer if I can just kind of showcase people and say, this is what they're brilliant at. And say, let's do a thing. That's your thing in the festival. So that's part of it. But the other part is for people who come in to just see the world a little broader. So I often sort of say people come in with their minds like this on any topic, and I want to almost blow it wide open. And then I know everyone goes and debriefs and kind of resets, but then there's their minds are a little wider, just a little wider. And so that's my aim, is to kind of just stretch everybody's idea of what's possible just a little bit more.
Yeah, brilliant. Let's just go back to our guest speakers that will be obviously doing some online stuff. Charlotte, you're mentioning going to be running some workshops. What takeaways could we expect from those workshops if we was to sign up and join? What we're going to walk away with afterwards?
Well, people that are running social business, they are still running a business, so they still need to get things right in terms of their legal compliance and their people management. So I'm really there to offer help and support to hopefully make that path a little bit easier, so that business owners, hopefully that doesn't keep them awake at night. They will come away with some peace of mind of, okay, we either know we're doing the right thing, or we've got a clear route map for how we can, address any gaps or problem solve any issues that we might be worried about within the business. And that really leaves people free to focus on, what they're really passionate about in terms of the venture and what they're seeking to achieve. So it's general advice around employing people or working with other people within the venture that I will be helping.
All of that HR stuff, the things that we need to do because we must do, but taking it away and demystifying it for people as well to make it simpler to understand and implement.
Yeah, and I think trying to bring a really positive slant to it, not seeing it as scary or something that we've got to worry about. It's all about people. Social entrepreneurs are usually people that want to make a difference. They want to care about people, and which just let's have a think about how we bring that into our HR practice as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Heidi, same to you. People are coming along and joining. What expectations can we set for them now that they're going to walk away with?
Yeah, so my sessions that I'm running are around impact measurement. So for social enterprises, obviously they make money, but they also do good in the world. So the bit that I focus on is how do they track and measure the good that they're making in the world on people's lives or on the environment or on wider communities. So for most organizations, they think that that's a really complicated and difficult thing to do. So if you were trying to, for example, track that somebody's well-being has improved, they would be like, oh my God, I've got no idea how to do this. So the sessions that I run are really to help people to think about how they can make that as simple and easy as possible and actually run it into and put it into their day-to-day operations much more easily, rather than seeing it as something that's a completely separate process. So that actually they have evidence of the difference that they're making to people's lives, and they can use that when they're applying for funding, when they're tendering for contracts, and when they're going for investment, so they can grow and make more impact in the world.
Brilliant. And Servane, finally, from your workshops, we know you're on the program. What can people be taking away from your workshops?
Well, I am going to run a session that's a little bit different, because we are going to talk about how to maximize a board's collective intelligence. Now, what does that mean is that when you have a lot of talented people around the table who make a lot of decision and had a lot of influence on people's lives, the team's lives, but also the beneficiaries or the clients, you need to make sure that they're all on board, but that they are also they're not stuck into their assumptions, that they can see clearly, that they have a wide view of the world, that they bring their best thinking around the table. So that session will help people to increase the bond and trust between all these people on the board, but also maybe a senior leadership team. That's transferable. How they can strengthen the foundations for much better collaboration, and also how to bring people along to work towards a common goal. And what we're going to do, I'm going to be collaborating with one social entrepreneur called Rachel Looby, and she runs a really flourishing social enterprise. And we're going to run a one-on-one session, a demo, to see how she can think as herself and for herself on that topic of how to maximize the board's intelligence. And I will be giving her some space to think through that and ask some specific question, and then we'll see what comes up. And now this is a technique that people can repeat and replicate in their own setting. So we'll see how listening can actually make you grow your business.
Sounds Sounds great. Loads of stuff to be taken on board, lots to learn. HR, tracking and measuring the good stuff, collective intelligence. Karen, sounds like once again you're putting on an amazing show. This time it's global. The audience is an infinite one. So remind us again, how do we get involved? How do we sign up? What do we need to do to avail ourselves of all this awesome stuff that you got for us?
So it's you can either go to the main website, socialentrepreneurs.place.com, or just go for socialentrepreneurs.festival.com, where you'll go straight to the program and the tickets. Tickets are only £95. As I said, it's about 80 hours of content. Some of the other sessions we haven't mentioned include how to raise money for your growth, how to build a no-code MVP, because we find lots of people get distracted paying developers when they really don't know what they're doing yet. And I'm running lots of things around the Gallup Strengths Finder, which is all around how to use positive psychology in authentic leadership, resilience, and I could go on forever. The program's long.
It sounds wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. It's been great having you all join us this morning. So a big thank you, Karen, and to your team of guest speakers, Charlotte, Heidi, and Servane. We wish you all the best with the festival. And maybe we'll catch up with you come maybe into October, November time. We'll find out more about it and how it all went. So, best of luck, and look forward to hearing more soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.